Everybody. Today's tips from a therapist's office, we're going to cover anxiety, or more specifically, anxiety related to all the changes and shifts from the last year that we're generally just calling panxiety, pandemic anxieties. The importance of this particular talk has more to do with identifying shifting and changing anxieties as you maybe emerge out of them, or accept that there are certain things that you're not going to return to or emerge out of because it's safer and healthier for you not to. So when I say something like a panxiety, this pandemic anxiety, it is the areas of behavior that used to be particularly comfortable that now you notice maybe even a physical response to engaging in these behaviors. Of course, being back around people, being back into school, being back into groups or a sport, and not just being back into these things, but the changes that are within them. Those are also important things that we're going to get used to. The good news is, if you're noticing these anxieties, if you're noticing that you're not comfortable walking into certain places, you weren't ready to return to certain behaviors, the good news is, congratulations, you have a stress management system internally that is working. We had to send a message to our emotional brain for the last year that things that were previously okay aren't okay. And that is a nightmare for a trauma response system. It is an overwhelming message to take a simple thing like sitting with loved ones and turn it into that's dangerous. We asked a lot of our emotional minds in the last year. We had to get used to a lot of new behaviors, and we had to take a lot of simple things like our beloved activities and turn them into potentially dangerous behaviors. We were not ready for this, and our mind is consistently ready for something like a threat, but it is not ready to have to learn a threat manually. That's an overwhelming or even toxic space to be in. So, as you notice your particular anxieties that are starting to emerge, the things that you're not as comfortable with, the things that maybe you see other people who you trust doing and you're not ready to do, this is an opportunity for one of my favorite therapeutic discussions, which is it's okay to be gentle with yourself as you learn these new things. They're new things. It's a new process, and they're your feelings. So you can understand your anxieties. You can understand your hesitancies. And you can start looking at them through a gentle lens and know that you deserve to figure this out in your pace, in your course, and your way, because none of us knew how to figure this out as it was happening. You don't have to have it figured out. You don't have to know. And if you run into people who know and have it figured out, it's okay to assume they don't. And they're just trying to feel better about hoping that they do. But the last thing we want to do is try to avoid these feelings, these warning signs that are the wonderful infrastructure of our internal world, trying to be concerned about something. It's okay to acknowledge those things and not put pressure on yourself to overcome them, ignore them, or do things that are generally more acceptable so that you don't face some kind of rejection or some kind of judgment for not being ready to engage in things that maybe other people are. Because if you try to avoid acknowledging these experiences, that's when we slip into certain concerns. That's when it's more likely to need something that helps you get through a social event or return to something. And you might return to or move into some somewhat self-destructive or unproductive behaviors. And you deserve more than the opportunity to avoid. You deserve the opportunity to pace yourself so that you can eventually move into the safest version of a new behavior. That's what you deserve as an individual, and you deserve the opportunity, the gentleness, and the patience to figure out what that looks like for you.